Real 92.3, Big Boys
Big
Neighborhood.
boy.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. In the neighborhood, I would call, say, one of my personal buddies in the neighborhood,
That is
Mark
dope.
Wahlberg. Welcome back to the neighborhood, brother Mark.
How are you, sir?
Man, I am doing amazing, brother. How you holding up?
Good, man. I'm days away from getting his mustache off. I'm very
Hey,
happy.
man.
No, keep it.
Now, I asked Mark. Mark has a mustache right now, and I said, Mark, I said, is that mustache you, or is the mustache work? But so the mustache is work.
The mustaches work, but you know what? It's funny because my wife at first was like, "Oh my God, what is that?" And now she hasn't really mentioned anything. Today, it's Valentine's Day. She's not complaining. So I don't know, but it's a little annoying, a little itchy. It's getting in my mouth now, food and all that stuff. So if I have to grow it back, but I was actually playing the role in Uncharted. The character is known for having a mustache, but I only have it for part of the film as I transition into that character. So I had it for that, and then I had it for the next movie that I did, which is about to come out on Easter. So it's work related.
And so this mustache now, is this the Easter movie, or is this another movie you're working on currently, like on set?
No, we're actually. I tried to grow this for another movie that I'm about to do, and they were like, "No."
Hey, man.
I said, "Make it look a little bit older."
You know what's crazy about that too, though, Mark, is that people don't understand that sometimes you guys are working. Like in the movie where it calls for you to gain weight. You know what I'm saying? Like people just think like, with Father Stu, you working on that. People think like, oh man, Mark is off his game. What's going on?
Yeah. I get that all the time. And then I got really thin after losing the weight and preparing for something else. And you're always finding yourself explaining yourself. And I'm like, and I feel like I'm weirdly obligated to just kind of explain. Sometimes I'll even start before somebody says anything, and they're like, "I don't know, it's all good. I didn't even notice."
It's crazy how it doesn't think we don't think like, oh, maybe he's working on a movie right now. You know what I'm saying? We just want to, and especially now with social media, everybody just want to make sure everything goes up. Now, you had a chance. You briefly mentioned Uncharted. What is Uncharted?
Uncharted is obviously it's based on the video game Uncharted, which is the most popular PlayStation game ever created. It sold over 40 million copies. But it's also the most cinematic video game ever created, and really lends itself to being adapted to a film. It's all about storytelling. It's these giant adventure stories. So we actually wanted to make a movie that really satisfied the gamers, but then also introduce a whole new audience that doesn't have to know the world of Uncharted video games to really appreciate it. It's much in the lines of like an Indiana Jones. Big action adventure, lots of cool action stunts, and a big thrill ride. Most importantly, great chemistry and comedy between myself and Tom Holland.
How do you know which scripts to grab, though, Mark? First off, were you a gamer before Uncharted? Did you ever play?
I didn't really play Uncharted. I checked out the video game. I was attached to playing the role that Tom Holland played 12 years ago. This is how long I've been trying to get this movie made.
Wow.
To the old guy role. But I was this super old school gamer, arcade games, Pac-Man, Defender, Asteroids, Galaga, all the great games, Centipede. And then, of course, I started playing like Atari and Sega. But, with a wife and 4 kids, if I started playing video games now, I'd be in trouble. I got enough dedicated my time to my fitness and my family and my faith, and games would just be over the line. It would be too much.
Hey, Mark, they released one time just like a schedule of yours. Do you still hold that kind of schedule where just let me run through a little bit of it, like wake up at 2:30, prayer time at 2:45, breakfast at 3:15, first workout is at 3:40 to 5:15, post-workout meal is at 5:30, then you shower at 6, golf from 7 to 8, 8 o'clock, a snack, Cairo chamber recovery at 10th, and it goes on and on. Like, dude, you like they say you do more before 7 a.m. than most people do all day.
You know what? I'm actually right now back on a crazy training schedule, but I've also changed my whole approach. I used to be all about small meals every 3 hours, and now I'm doing intermittent fasting and not eating for like 18 hours and having a 6-hour eating window. So I got up today at 2:45, had my prayer time, got down in the gym at 4 o'clock. And then I just ate my first meal at 9, and last night at 5 o'clock was the last time I had eaten. So kind of doing that intermittent fasting, it's been miraculous for my health and recovery and just focus and everything else. So
you have amazing willpower.
Yeah, like Natalia's on right now too.
I've been trying to do the fasting to see if it works with my body, and I break it a couple times. Yeah.
Right.
Not like you.
It will work for anybody's body. And, you know, it's really about longevity. And so to get the kind of results that I've had, and also just feeling, it's one thing to look a certain way. It's another way to feel really good. And I've been feeling better than I have in a long time. I was having a lot of issues because of, I did the movie in the Dominican Republic where I was doing the most action I've ever done. Then I put on 30 pounds for Father Stu, which was a big task. And then after that, I just never felt right again. And it's been about a year that I had a kind of like some stomach issues. And finally, after doing the fasting and stuff, I've been feeling really good.
Hey, Mark, how do you pick and choose your movies? Like Uncharted, I know that you said y'all been trying to get that made for like 12 years. So do you only do projects that you're kind of more involved in?
That I'm driving the train? No, it depends. Like, you know, I have movies that'll kind of come my way. Filmmakers or, you know, studios that want me to kind of do something and think they'll hire me as an actor for hire. And then I have a whole lot of movies and projects that I've been developing on my own and trying to get made. I'm always proactive in that way, in that I'm not waiting around for the next great thing to land on my desk. It just doesn't happen that often. So lots of the movies that I've made that have really been kind of pivotal in my career have been movies that I've developed on my own. But, you know, I do also, you know, look for movies that, you know, other people are making and been developing and that I think could be interesting roles in there for me. So kind of a mixture, but I'm definitely much more proactive than most people in trying to develop stuff and create my own destiny.
Hey, do you still watch like Mark Wahlberg movies? You know how you can turn on anything and it seems that there's always a movie that you're involved in. Do you sit down and watch anything?
It depends. You know, I usually don't have that much time to watch TV. I'll fall asleep to the TV in the evening. But if I do, it's just kind of got to be one if I'll see if it holds up and stands the test of time, you know, but it really depends on the movie. Usually when I make a movie, especially if I'm producing it, I'll have watched it so many times in the editing stage that by the time it comes out, I see it with an audience, I'm like on for the next thing. So it really just depends.
Do you have like a best movie? If you had like your Mount Rushmore of Mark Wahlberg movies, what would it be?
Well, you have to say The Fighter, Lone Survivor.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And then, you know, you got The Departed, Boogie Nights.
Yes. Oh my Lord.
Perfect Storm. I really but Ted, I always gravitate towards the true stories, but the best movie that I have ever done is the movie that's coming out Good Friday and Easter weekend. It's Father Stu. It's a movie that I produced myself. I financed it myself.
Wow.
It's a movie that will hopefully really help a lot of people, especially in these unprecedented times where there's so much, you know, people are there's so much uncertainty. People are losing hope and faith. And with COVID and with all the divide, hopefully it's going to bring people together and start, you know, reminding people that love is the most important thing.
Lord have mercy.
We cannot give up on people. You know, nobody is too far gone from being redeemed and redeeming themselves. And we got to remind people that, you know, people need love, and people need acceptance, and people need support. So that's what we're working on.
Man, and that's perfect timing, bro, because we have been in this so-called slump for a minute, bro. You know, and with Father Stu, I was once over 500 pounds, right? Was it hard to gain weight? Like you say 30 pounds. Now, for me, I would love to be like, oh, man, I wish I had a role where I had to gain weight. You know, is it hard to gain? I can imagine it's got to be just as hard to gain weight as it is to lose weight.
Well, first of all, let me applaud you on being such an inspiration for so many people.
Thank you, bro.
Your health back and focusing on your health and your well-being and your longevity, because that's the most important thing. You're a real inspiration to so many people. Gaining weight, it was fun for like a week because I had to we only had 6 weeks to do it. So in the first like day of shooting, I prepared, got as thin as possible for the boxing stuff. And then after that night, I started eating 7,000 calories a day for 2 weeks. And then I went up to 11,000 calories for the last 4 weeks of the movie. It's fun if you're like craving something, but when you're already full, you got to eat again. Losing weight is much easier because it's just about being disciplined. You know, you'll get a little cranky and stuff, but when you're completely full and you have to force feed another giant meal of 12 eggs, 12
Oh
pieces of
my
bacon,
Lord.
2 bowls of white rice, drink a cup of olive oil, eat a steak and then a piece of chicken, and it becomes a task. So
Mm-hmm.
it was not fun, and
Right.
certainly at my age, it was not good for me.
Yeah, and then that's the whole you got to eat again, like again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Like,
Waking up after I went to bed at 10, and I'm getting woken up at 12:30, 1 o'clock to eat
to
again. I'm like,
eat.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah, some people think they want it, huh, Mark?
Mhm.
Right? You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Some
yeah,
people think that. Some people think they want it. Like, nah, you really don't want that, bro. Believe that. You were at the Super Bowl,
yeah.
for Super Bowl Sunday, man. How was that? For one, your guy, Patriots Brady retires, and retires really, I would say, on top of his game as well. What did
Yeah.
that announcement feel like to you, being such a Patriots and Brady fan, and then he goes to the Bucks, but being a Brady fan?
Yeah, well, for me, I just appreciate all that he did for New England
Yeah.
and for Tampa and for football as a whole. I mean, he set the bar as high as it goes. He's also encouraging people that despite your age, that's just a number. If you're taking care of yourself and doing all the things that you need to do to have longevity, then you could really defy the expectations and the odds. And I was happy for him. Whatever he wants to do, whatever's best for him and his family, I
Right.
completely understand. If he comes back and goes to place for another team, I don't. He did enough for New England, did enough for everybody
Yeah.
else. It's really now time for him to take care of him and do what's best for Tom. But it was
Man.
nice to go to the game, and not have any stress.
Right,
Mhm.
right,
You
right.
know, I wasn't worried about like snapping out at one of my family members or something if they were losing, and I was just able to enjoy. And the most important thing that I went to the game to promote the movie, said hi to a bunch of people, and then I was able to get home because my wife was having a gathering here to watch the halftime show, which I just
Right.
thought
How was
the
that
most
for you, bro?
incredible thing. Oh my God. First of all, I had never seen anything like it. I mean, it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, man.
You talk about the biggest musicians in the history of music, and certainly in my lifetime, the most talented people all on one stage. It was incredible.
Hey man, and and the only complaints that I heard, Mark, was, man, it felt short. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
we enjoyed it so much, bro. We
Of course.
wanted
And
more.
the game, I mean, the game was kind of long and boring, and there wasn't much happening. And you could have literally filled 3 hours with that performance.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, easy call. And each
Concert.
one of those, Mary J. Blige, Dr. Dre, Snoop, Kendrick, Eminem, all of them could have did a halftime show by themselves. You know what I'm
and
saying?
it was so nice to have that surprise at 50 coming out too. But Mary and Kendrick, oh my gosh, cannot wait to see, because for me still, he's a young artist, so to see what he's doing, just his performance alone was electrifying. I really thought
Yeah, man.
he kind of stole the show for me, just because I had never really seen him perform. So I want to see like him on a big stadium tour on his own, doing all of his hits and all of his new music. It was
Hey, Mark,
incredible.
when you go to like a Super Bowl, or like let's say Kendrick Lamar is doing a show, do you get tickets, or can you walk up on Mark Wahlberg's face?
You always get tickets, but I always
Okay.
the great thing was I went from like suite to suite saying hi to everybody, and I didn't have to show any credentials once I was in the building.
Right,
Although with the
right.
mustache, people looked me a little crazy, but they kind of figured it out. But no, I was lucky enough to be able to bounce into other suites and just say hi to everybody, because I had a lot of friends and wanted to say hi to people, and people that I worked with before I
Man.
head out.
Your big interview, man. We got Mark Wahlberg in the neighborhood. Uncharted new movie comes out February 18th. Mark, I want to do something real quick with you called When Was the Last Time? All righty.
Cool.
And so I'm just going to ask you some questions. You just let me know when was the last time. Mark Wahlberg, when was the last time you went to a grocery store and you shopped? Like you walking through, putting things in the basket.
Yeah. Oh, I need the milk.
I was probably pre-COVID.
Oh, okay, so not too long ago, like what, 2019? But pre-COVID could be 2006,
Like, yeah.
maybe 2006.
I'll just say pre-COVID. Actually, God, I used to go all the time too, because I wanted my own fresh produce and picking out my stuff and buying the meat that I was going to eat.
Come on now,
that
Mark.
day.
When was the last time you went to the grocery store and shopped?
I really don't remember.
When was the last time Mark Wahlberg in the neighborhood? When was the last time you got mistaken for another celebrity? Not Matt Damon.
Not Matt Damon. Probably Gosh, this was years ago. I would say in 20, I was doing We Own the Night, me and Joaquin Phoenix, and I came out of my trailer, and this lady was like, Brad Pitt. I was like, what? I said, no. I said, I'm Tom Cruise. She goes, oh, I know Tom. I love you. I really thought I was either one of those guys.
When was the last time Mark Wahlberg in the neighborhood? Mark Wahlberg, when was the last time you had to drop a deuce in a public restroom?
Oh my gosh. You know, I will say this. I had a bad stomach when I got a parasite when I was in the DR. And then we only had porta potties. We were in these really kind of like small parts of the island, and we bring our own porta potties, and the crew was tearing that stuff up before I even got in there. 120 degrees. And I'm playing an adventure race, so I have to wear a spandex suit, and I gotta try to get the spandex off in the porta potty. I called my guy and I said, you have to go to a outdoor, you know, hunting, you know, camping store and buy me a portable toilet. I got a portable toilet with a little thing you could sip over the top of you and sit out there, and I have my own little spot in the jungle everywhere I went. But the porta potty, yeah, it's happened to me. But my stomach was really bad especially after I put on the weight too. So it happened to me a couple times, which is bad. I mean,
I would love to walk in and be like, man, y'all smell that? Then you walk out the stall like, damn, Mark, that was you? Mark Wahlberg, when was the last time you asked a celebrity for a picture? Like you went up and said, man, I got to get a picture with you. And who was it?
Yesterday, Michael Irvin.
Wow. Really though?
Yeah. Mike is obviously, I'm a big fan of his, and we've been friendly for a while. He was on the set when I was doing Invincible, and it was just one of those things where they were like, "Oh, get a picture." I was like, you know what? I got to get a picture. I try to take a picture with all the guys that I was talking to.
I heard that. When was the last time, Mark Wahlberg, that you had to audition for a movie? And what movie was it?
I would say the last time that I auditioned was probably maybe for Boogie Nights, and it wasn't supposed to be a formal audition, but we ended up reading the scenes and stuff. But I would still to this day audition if I had to really go out of my way to convince a filmmaker that I could play the part, because I want to play parts that people don't expect of me.
Right.
I would definitely be willing to do that. I mean, I never took an acting lesson either, but I'd be willing to study or do whatever I had to do to prepare for a role. So that I'm certainly not above or beyond that. That's no problem.
Mark Wahlberg, definitely want to thank you for coming into the neighborhood, hanging out with us, man. Once again, Uncharted, February, is it 18th that I have here?
18th, Friday the 18th, yes.
Man, and I can't wait also to see what the amazing work you do with Father Stu as well. But Uncharted, February 18th. Mark, thank you for being in the neighborhood, man. Thank you for the years of kinship. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the video for my star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and I appreciate you, bro.
So proud of you, bro. Congratulations. Thank you for being such an inspiration and always being a friend. And I want to show you Father Stu because I want you to help me spread the word. So I'd love to set up a screening or send you a link for the movie.
Man, it'd be my pleasure, man. And I'm on the same number as well, so just get in touch with me.
All right, God bless, man. Congrats.
There it is, Mark Wahlberg in the neighborhood, Big Boys Neighborhood.